can we just acknowledge for a second just how ridiculous it is, the amount of content this game has? And it's not done yet either. I'll link down to their Facebook group down below, but Black Rose Rebirth is a new project coming from Ludus Magna Studios with something more in the Black Rose universe. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what it'll consist of. I don't know if it's an expansion, a spiritual successor, completely unrelated. It's called Black Rose Rebirth, so hopefully it's something interesting and more Black Rose War Z. Not that we need more Black Rose War Z, given how much you see around the table. And before we go further, required coffee shots, just because I like my coffee. But let's go on and get into this. So, to begin with, I have played Black Rose Wars. I've played it, well, one time so far. I want to get more plays in, but so far I like it. That's why I have all this stuff, because I played it, I liked it, and then I decided to get more stuff. So, some of these boxes are opened. I got this used, but I believe none of the content here has been, well, de-shrinked or whatnot. We'll go through it all, but I think even the core box, I do have an extra core box now I have to get rid of. Get rid of is a loose term. I'll figure out a way to sell it, don't worry about that. But all this stuff over here, I believe this is an all-in pledge of everything, and I figure, despite the fact that I've seen the core box, I haven't seen most of the rest yet, and let's get on into it. So, Black Rose Wars. What are we talking about today? I haven't even gone that far. Do you know how off-putting it is for me, by the way, on a personal level, to have this knife over here and then not be using it? Just to not be using the knife on this box. So let's go ahead and take this off over here. So, we have the box, the core box, with whatever's going on in it. Let's turn it around and figure stuff out. We'll leave that over there, and let's go through this box. We got a bunch of stuff. We're going to have this book, which we'll get to shortly, the rule book, which we'll get to shortly, then this tray. These are going to be the various boards you're going to have on the, well, play area, and then just trays of goodness. So let's go ahead and get to the trays of goodness. As usual, there'll be some miniature shots, some other things. We'll go through it all. We'll figure out what we need to figure out. Let's put that over there, and let's go through here. Okay, so there's just a lot of content here. So, as usual, it's going to be a bit of a mess. And yep, sure enough, these things are not de-shrinked. So, we got some of these guys over here. There's going to be some cool miniatures over here. Now, Black Rose Wars. So let's talk about the game. Let's talk about my experience with the game so far. Not a review per se, because I'm not doing a full review, but it is a game that well, again, I liked it enough to get all of this, so we'll see how that goes. And I nearly didn't like it, because the introduction to the game was, well, it was messy. There was a lot going on here. And I remember, I want to say, about halfway through my first game, this guy's not slotting back in properly. I'm not going to mess, there we go, got it in. About halfway through my first game, let's grab some tiles. Here we go. So, the general concept of Black Rose Wars, before we talk about being halfway through the first game, is going to be you have the Black Rose room somewhere in this tile stack over here. It's going to be somewhere here, I don't know where it is, but you're going to have a Black Rose room in which, let's just go ahead and set this up. Okay, great. We have our rooms, you're going to set them all up. You're going to have a board configuration. They all have spots for damage cubes, as you can see. And then you're going to have your heroes, your various heroes wandering the board, as well as their own individual rooms on the edge of the map. So you're going to have 4 different corners of the map with your various sorcerers running around the board, trying to basically kill all of the various things in the dungeon and slowly explode the rooms. Do we have a Black Rose room? Here we go. Nope, none of these are Black Rose room. Don't know where it is. Might be somewhere else in that configuration. But either way, giant stack of board and trying to destroy rooms and accomplish your goals for ultimately getting points in this game. The fun of the game comes down to just the sheer amounts of spells as you build out your deck in this game, because you're going to start with your core deck of whatever your class is, and then from there, past that, this is the throne room. That's still different. It's still not the rose room. I'm just making up a map over here. You would have a general map, and then you would modify that map. You can go with different settings, configurations. You can move around the board, around the structure to get what you need in the game as you slowly blast baddies or create different necromantic things or summon different beasts. That's what most of the miniatures are going to be, things you summon in the game to hopefully help you as you, well, just try to wreak destruction in this game. The artwork's beautiful. The miniatures are incredible. Some of the best miniatures I've seen. Ludus Magna Studios generally has amazing miniature quality. Very impressed with them. And then past that, it just comes down to the deck building aspect of the game. You're going to have your own individual player boards, and every single round you're going to slot your spells. So you're going to have a hand of spells, and you're going to slot your quick spell, your regular spell, regular spell, regular spell, and sometimes there are things like traps or protections or other things along those lines that will help you out. We have Rebecca, we have Tessa, we have Jafar. I believe I was Jafar when I played. Didn't love him. We have Nero. Lots of different fun things over there. every time you hurt one of the other people on the board, you'll get trophies for them. So when you kill opponents, it's like kind of like an area control aspect. Kind of, if you ever played Adrenaline, it's going to be similar to that, where these slots over here, when I deal damage to Nero, I'll put my color damage into his row, and then if I have the most damage when he dies, well, I get more points than other players. So that's going to be relevant for there. Going to be destroyed rooms as well, and then just general other quests you can accomplish along the way. Lots of cards over here. Let's go through briefly the cards over here. Just tons of cards. I don't know if I'm going to bother opening these. We'll see. But, okay. We just got tons of cards in this game. Just tons. Let me go ahead. You know what? I'll go ahead and open a pack. Just so I can feel I'm using my knife. Not this pack. Not this pack. Not this pack. Let's go with the spell. The red. They're all spells. The red, because the red is going to be the most standard, I guess. The most just pure damage dealing. You don't need to know as much about the game to understand how the red is dealing damage to other characters or doing things. So, typical throwing on the floor. I saw someone who commented in one of my recent unboxings how that, you know, was going to drive him nuts. It takes me 3 seconds to clean up the floor after I toss all the stuff down. So, we have Demon's Howl over here. Demon's Howl, which you can probably see on the camera, but I can't now. Demon's Howl. One of your evocations can act immediately. Evocations are going to be those things you summon, or alternatively, if you cast it this way, summon a Malacoda in the target room. So that's going to be very typical of this game. You're going to have dual use spells, which you can use in one of two different ways. Over here, the target mage draws a quest, then you can earn a point. We have inflict 2 damage to all models in the target room. Hit mages cannot use physical actions to move. Okay, you know I said I like this game? You know I said I bought all the stuff for the game because I like the game? I didn't tell you, my least favorite part of the game was when Jesse decided to entrap me in my room for an until turn, stopping me from moving or using actions. Then Devin thought it'd be funny to do the exact same thing the turn after, and so I was stuck in my room doing nothing for 2 rooms. It was like I was grounded, but I was at game night, so not fun. We have Obscure Armor. Avoid the next damage you suffer by an enemy model. The model that attacked you suffers 1 health. We have Obscure Explosion. Inflict 2 damage to all models in the target room, and then cycle 3 of that room. That symbol there, and this is going to get to my issues with that Black Rose Wars. That symbol there means you swap damage in the room for your own markers, which means you're more likely to score as the room clears out. So, let's see if I can get these cards back in here. I'm going to have to clear this all up later, which I will do. But for right now, that's going to be what I have as far as cards. And all the cards in the game, there's a ton of cards. So you have a complete unhealthy amount of card choices in the game as far as different spells, powers, abilities, ways to build out your deck or to become special in ways that other players are not in this game. Let's put these down. Those are down. Excellent. Okay. Put this on top. And we're going to go through the core box a little bit more. So, all these evocations, the evocations are going to be the things you can summon in the game from, well, I don't know, I'm putting this guy back in. Why don't I show them to you? So we have this guy over here. This can be a very standard evocation in the base game. Just solid miniature, got detailed texture bases. If you see those little holes over there, those holes are going to be where you put your own markers to illustrate whether it's yours or which one of your cards is tied to as well. We're going to have these wreath thingies, these scythe thingies. Scythe. Okay. We got those scythe little beasts. Again, these are standard core box things as well. Lots of fun stuff. We haven't even gotten to the sheer amount of goodness you're going to see as we go through more of it. I'll just show you a core box kind of run through of various options over here, and that's basically that aspect there. That's going to go back over there. Okay. Now, there's no reason to need this much content for the game. Absolutely not. Oh, here we go. Here's the Black Rose room. Okay, I knew it was somewhere. So, this is the Black Rose room. This is the center room of the board. Looks like some tiles are coming out over there. And again, just all the rooms are beautiful. We got recessed tiles over there where you can slot your cubes. Works beautifully. This is in the center of the area. And these mages over here are going to be your mages. If you look at the characters, we have Nero over here. Nero, who we saw his player board for. Just his little robes and tufts of fire. And we have all the various characters. Here's Jafar. I think his name was a Jafar or something like that. Jafar was something else. I don't remember what it was. Jahar? I don't remember what it was. But I just remember I found his deck a little boring. His pre-made cards, whatever it was, were a little boring. We have these Contessa-like evocations. And again, they're all going to have their own rules, their own whatever. I would say one of the things that fell into the category of things I didn't like about the game, based on one play so far, is going to be that I would say many of the evocations in this game did not feel like they lasted long enough to be impactful. Some did, many did not. So I would have liked to see more longevity on some of the evocations as opposed to just, I create this thing and then you take the time and energy of a turn, of an action, to get rid of the thing that I just spent time and energy creating, because you should respect the hard work I put into it. Now, we got rulebooks. So the rulebook here is a bit of a mess, okay? This is not the easiest to understand rulebook in the slightest. It can really benefit from a, I don't know, Jonathan Babel, or I think it's his name, Jonathan Babel, I think it's his name, or a Paul Grogan. It could really benefit from someone who knows rulebooks, taking a look and condensing it, or just making it structurally organized, because this thing is definitely a mess. It's one of those things where you read the rules, and they don't really have a clear picture of how the game plays until you're like halfway through your first game. Okay. We got components, It looks like we have page numbers, we have page numbers. So we get to roughly page 8 all the way till around, and it's actually not that hard, by the way. It's really not a hard game to learn. It's just the comprehension here is done horribly. So we got page 8 to 35 is end of game, and then after 35 we have FAQ. So 8 to 35, around 27 pages of content, but very, very graphic heavy. Like you can see this entire page has like one section of text. We have more pages like this. A whole full art, a little section of text, pictures, examples. So it's very easy to actually go through it in that sense. It's just not well structured. The general sequence of play is, just to give you a general overview, a deck building situation. You start with your pre-made deck. Every round, you're going to draw deck. You're going to draw cards from common pools of cards. It's going to be different schools of magic. You're going to draw some of those into your hand, and then choose some of them to keep, and some will be discarded. Then you're going to combine the cards you drew from your personal deck with the cards you drew and kept from the general schools of magic, and that's going to be your hand for the turn. You're going to slot those 4 cards, as I showed you already in the other player boards, which you have over there. You're going to slot those 4 cards. I'll show you over here, because it's going to be somewhere in here. You're going to slot those 4 cards into your player board, into those 4 areas over here. That's going to be your quick spells and the order you're going to cast your spells on your turn. Do that combined with some basic action tokens, which will involve moving or hitting people that you can use to run around and do stuff. And that's basically the game. Other aspects of the game are in play as well, such as the actual Black Rose track or different things like that, or quests you have. But that's basically the game. Everything else is just, coding on top of the core system. This is going to be your, I don't know what it's called. It's called the Codex Arcanum. The Codex Arcanum is going to give you a whole bunch of just cards. Just lots of cards showing you all the options, giving you more of a breakdown in case you are someone who, you read the card, you don't have a full picture of what it does. This is giving you all the cards in the game, or at least in the base game. It's going to get more complicated, as well as the characters. It is Jafar, good. Okay, as well as the characters, as well as the custom spells, as well as the rooms. So any clarification you need is in this book. Now, this book becomes useless. Well, not useless, but not as useful as soon as you... Where's my box top? Here it is. As soon as you get to a point in the game where you have all the other stuff mixed into your decks, I don't know what you do or don't use. So we're going to close this bad boy. We're going to move that knife out of the way. And we're going to put this over here. Box 1 is done. Where do we go next? Let's do box 2. We're going to do the boxes that don't require de-shrinking first. And they'll feel better about de-shrinking stuff later. Okay, this is going to be the Hidden Thorns box. Okay? And we have over here. Mostly over my little cold and voice situation. I have a little bit of the sniffles, so forgive me if I sniffle my way through this thing. We have 2 mages. We have Marco and Genevieve. We have Mages Cells 4, some trap tokens, action tokens, rose pins, element tokens, inhibition tokens. These basically just giving you the contents that you need for the characters. Oh, this introduces Black Rose Wars to being a 2 to 6 player game. I don't think I'll ever do that. I'll use the 2 mages, but I don't think I'll ever do that. I could be wrong. So, here's my thing with Black Rose Wars. The Hidden Thorns expansion, you can now expand the battles fought within Black Rose Lodge. In fact, this expansion literally brings the maximum number of participants to 6. That's a very interesting use of the word literally. This is a 5 to 6 player expansion that literally lets you play with 6 players. Okay? We have 2 new colors, white and magenta, are now available to the players. I believe it's pronounced Magneto. We have 2 new mages, Marco and Genevieve. Broaden the choice of our alter ego. The expansion includes the material necessary. So we have 2 new mages, and then the components for 5 or 6 players. I've only played Black Rose Wars once. I played it at 4 players. I imagine that would be my ideal player count. I think 3 players would likely lower the interactions, and I enjoy the interactions in this game a lot. There are moments in this game where you cast a fireball, you conjure it up, you throw it at somebody else, and then they have a protection spell ready, and they divert it into another room across the hall. That person uses their own protection spell to dodge somewhere else and pull you into the room. You can get hit by your own fireball. There are fun moments in this game that are absolutely why I decided to go all in on this game, or all in for this content now. I didn't get the Kickstarter. I wasn't backing Kickstarters back then. So, we have our 2 little mages. Once I'm here, I may as well show you them, even though I didn't show you all the ones in the core box, but we'll go ahead and show you these, because I opened the box, may as well show you something from it. That's going to be that one, and then we have Genevieve. I think that was her name. We have Marco and Genevieve. Marco and Genevieve. Or Genevieve? Genevieve? I don't even know how to say that. Is it Genevieve? I don't know. Again, I'm just horrible with English. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It is what it is, though. This is I'm not going to push that. I'm not going to force that bad boy. We're just going to move that in here, all good. Call that a day. That's going to be our, 5 to 6 player box expansion. It doesn't add much as far as content. It just adds more colors and more mages. I'll take the more mages. I'll take the more colors. No, I'll take the more mages. I don't care about the more colors because I do not plan on playing this game with 5 to 6 players. Cool. Let's talk about rating systems, because if we just talk about Black Rose Wars, well, that's no fun for anyone, right? I do get comments from time to time. I'll do these. Let's do these. Why not? Let's do these little imp thingies. I do get comments from time to time about, the fact that I talk about a lot of things. Now, some of you know that this is a unboxing and rambling. I put that into the title, and some of you are watching these on a regular basis, and you understand exactly what they are. Others show up for a conversation about the game or showing the components in detail, and they don't know what they signed up for, which is fair. This might just not be the unboxing for you. But to that end, I talk about the games to some extent, and I open boxes, but it has to have stuff about, well, not the game. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like my unboxing. Now, to that end, let's talk about ratings. So, I have a bunch of games that I'm currently excited about. I also have this, which doesn't really give me any context. Where did I put these? Okay, I don't know where these are going to go, so I'll keep these boxes for right now, but they have to go somewhere. These things have to be condensed. I don't know where these are going. I will figure it out. We're not keeping these boxes. These are not going on my shelf. That's an absolute pain. So we have these little imps over here. Look at these little dragon imps. They're adorable. So I don't even know the role these play. I know that Ludus Magnus Studios had these as well on Sin Tempora, or Sign Tempora, however you pronounce it. But let me show you these dragons. These are going to be little things that go onto next to your base, effectively. So if you see the way they have a semi-crescent base, that means they go next to your character around the edge of the character. This is going to be the Draco layer. We're going to have the familiar Draco. We have Drogon, Smog, and a Chardalon. We have Smog, okay? That's just, they're going to get sued, but whatever. We have Smog. We have, there's going to be a bunch of non-English language things over here. So these are going to go in that pile of stuff. And then we have various cards or things or tokens. Don't know. I want it. That's all I'll say there. We'll put these over here. I'll figure out what to do with them later. I'm going to create little piles then, because apparently we have 4 of these little miniature packs. But going back to the rambling part of the conversation. So let's talk about ratings. So I remember I got a comment once about how, it wasn't one comment. I got multiple comments about this, but it was a few weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember exactly when it was. But somebody was asking me, saying, hey, you're constantly giving things 3, occasionally 4s. You never give anything a 5. So, what's the point of having that as a rating scale? And the answer was, you just haven't seen me give things a 5, because I absolutely do give things a 5. I have to think through exactly what got a 5 out of 5 this year. But it's currently May, right? Currently May. So let's talk about games that got a 5 out of 5 in May. Because they're not in May. In 2021, because there certainly are games that have gotten a 5 out of 5. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have, Endless Winter was last year. I didn't officially rate games back then, but that's definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. I'd really have to go through all the games I rated in a review to see what I gave a 5 out of 5. We have the Cerberus Lair. Ooh, 3-headed dogs, cool. Cerberus Lair, we got the instructions for Cerberus. That's going to go over there. Some tokens and some cards. And then I'll show you some Cerberuses. This is adorable. Do I want to show you a different one? Let's show you the one with the heads up. So I like how they have unique poses for all of these, by the way. They genuinely give you unique poses for all these dogs. So each of these has a slight difference to the way they present. One of them has like a sleeping dog head over there. Look at this. Look at the sleeping dog. Okay, that dog has got his head just sleeping on the floor. So we're going to put that there over there. Going back. So I think Primal got a 5 out of 5 for me. I don't know if I officially rated games back then, but it's definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. Then we have, right now, so this is the part that's tricky. So right now, coming up, I just gave 2 5 out of 5s. I gave Destiny a 5 out of 5. I wasn't planning on it. I was going to give it a 4 out of 5, but I could not stop thinking about it. I could not stop wanting to play it again. And I can't not give a game a 5 out of 5 when I'm in the middle of other games and talking to Jesse about, I want to play Destinies again. So I had to up it. I wasn't planning on, because I really don't love the downtime in that game, and it does have a lot of luck, and it's mechanically light. I was not planning on giving it a 5 out of 5 at all, but again, I just had to. So that's going to be Destinies. Then we have The Witcher. The Witcher got a 5 out of 5. Now, both Destinies and The Witcher are on the cusp, to be fair. Destinies, like I said, I wasn't planning on giving it 5 out of 5, and The Witcher, I gave a 5 out of 5, but I said it's very dependent. I can see it going down very easily if there isn't enough content or things that improve the experience in the Kickstarter, like giving you, you know, expansions to up the ante or whatever it is, to up the difficulty, complexity, the replayability, then I could see it going down after multiple plays. Right now, I'm loving The Witcher. But 7 plays in, do I feel as strongly, or do I feel it's a little too samey? Because the cards don't have text on them. I want things that give me a little bit more. Did I forget to show you some of these thingies? I forgot to show you. That's going to be that one. We'll show you some of these. Okay. But anyways, yeah, so that's going to be The Witcher. So The Witcher is a 5 out of 5 right now. I could see it going down. It's nothing to do with, it's not like a threat. It's just games that don't have as much replayability do go down over time. I remember the days when, I don't remember what was my 5 out of 5s. I had a lot. I've had games that shifted out of my favorite games of all time. But either way, going back to what's coming up next. Now, I don't know when this video goes up, so I don't know if the review went up already, but Fall of the Mountain King got a 5 out of 5 for me. It's been a good month for games. A solid month. Fall of the Mountain King is one that I was also debating between a 4 and a 5, but ultimately I went with the 5 because every time I played it with my group, we just had a blast playing it. There's one aspect of it that I don't love, the gnome board. This is Crono. Ooh, Crono's cool. Crono. He observed the mages from the heights of his grandeur. They could never have imagined the wrath of the Black Rose, incarnated by that cold colossus, would soon reduce them to nothing but empty shells, a miserable simulacrum of their former selves. Crono, the guardian of the deepest part of the lodge, is forced into the large central room by way of his enormous build. Cool. Don't know what's going on with Kronos, don't know how it works, but I do like the size of this miniature. We'll see more. The lodge revenge room, something, rooms effects, the myth. Looks simple enough to comprehend once you've read it. And then we have Medusa as well. So, what do we have? Ooh, Medusa's a hero. Cool. Okay. So, we have a hero character. I'm going to come back to those 5 out of 5 shortly. I'm just going to actually talk about the game I'm unboxing briefly. We have Medusa. That's going to be her own player board, as well as... Now, one thing I also didn't like, I did not like in Black Rose Wars, because Black Rose Wars, by the way, not a 5 out of 5 for me. Not yet. I need to play it more to see, but right now it's a 4 out of 5 for me. Let's look at Medusa first, because Medusa has... Oh, she has something broken off. That's not great. She has a little broken off piece that I can't tell where it goes. This goes somewhere... Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's like an arm of some sort, I think. I think it goes there. Nope, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't know where this goes. Oh, it goes there like so? Okay, we'll figure this out later. Not on camera. But this is going to be Medusa over here. She looks cool enough. I like her. And then more importantly, we have Kronos. Kronos is going to be the cool bad guy over here. Kronos is Medusa needs to drop that over there. Kronos goes here. Nope, over there. I really cannot figure this one out at all how this slots in. We're just going to put it like that and call it a day because it seems like it should go like this. But then it's also not slotting in. I will deal with that later. Kronos. Let's talk Kronos. Because this guy is boss. Look at him. Look at him. I'm going to show you up top too, because I have more control over the camera over here. Look at this guy. Look at his, like, just his size. Okay, this would be a, doesn't even fit. I can't even show it to you. This is one of those small little imps. Let's show you Medusa next to Kronos for scale. Okay, this is going to be a hero, and that's Kronos. You see that scale there? That guy is cool. Yeah, this is my little turntable up here. Kronos is a beast of a thing. This is the kind of thing I want to put on my mantle, okay? But I won't because my wife probably would not appreciate it. So I'm going to put that over there, back over there. We're going to put Kronos back in his little cave over here. There we go. Things are tilted. We have some rooms. We have some face-down rooms. I don't know how these work. These are Hell's Doors. Looks cool. Don't know what is going on here. And we have a deck of cards as well. So we have more cards than a new class of magic. I don't know. We'll see. And some new small cards as well. That's going to be Kronos over here. So we're making our way slowly through all the stuff. We're going to put this box back. This is going to go like so. And like so. Yeah, going back to those 5 out of 5s. So we have Fall of the Mountain King is going to be my 4th 5 out of 5 in a very short time frame. And then lastly, the next one we have coming up, and this one I'm 90% sure it's a 5 out of 5. I need at least one more play based on when I'm filming this video and when you're seeing this video. I need at least one more play. But Mosaic. Mosaic currently on Kickstarter. Hopefully I'll have this video up before Mosaic ends. But that as well is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's not Terraforming Mars 5 out of 5 for me, but it's 5 out of 5 anyway. Terraforming Mars, it's very similar to Terraforming Mars. I'll give comparisons. You'll see during the review, but that game is a lot of fun. And Mosaic just is it's very rewarding. We have this over here. From that, we have a card pack, which I will have to be careful not to lose that. And then we can finally use my de-shrinker. So this is going to be the Inferno box. Looks like it. So Mosaic. Mosaic is a game that is a civ building game. Plays in roughly 2 hours or so. It depends on the player count. Depends on the familiar with the game. A first game can easily run you 3 hours if, you know, people are taking their time. Because it's basically you take an action, you take an action, you take an action, go round and around. It's every player gets one action just around the table. And it comes down to how slow any one player is. Now, I very much will have that classic AP thing where, if analysis paralysis aspect, where if a single player is being slow, then as they finish their turn, other players know exactly what they want to do, so they can take really fast turns, and then it gets back to that single player, and they still have to think about their turn because the other players thought through their turn on that slow person's turn. Hopefully that's clear. You know what I'm talking about if you've dealt with AP players. Okay, this is going to be not in English. This is likely going to be in English, otherwise I'm going to feel bad about tossing that one on the floor. Here we go. Game components. Okay. Game components, Inferno, abandon hope all ye who enter here. Ooh. I'm telling you stuff. This stuff is so cool. Not that I ever need this much content for the game. Let's be very clear with that. I like content. I'm a big fan of content. I do not need this much content. Okay. That's going to go over here. Let's go ahead and open this box. Look at this stuff. Isn't it sweet? My collection will never be complete. Let's take a look at this cool person, but also not break it as I try to pull it out. Bear with me here. There we go. You always want to be careful with those bases. This is a boss miniature. I mean, look at this. That is just insane, the level of detail you're seeing here. Let's put it at the front camera too. That is just insanity. I love these characters. I love the design, the everything here. We got these centaurs with their little rings of whatever they're holding. Looks like they're holding like Doctor Strange style rings of fire or something. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty cool. We have that. We have some more. I'm just going to show you some more because I like what's in this box. We have another. These are all like things you summon, I think. I don't actually know because I only played the base game. But this is, my son has already requested to be playing this week. He's played with the base game of Black Rose Wars and he wants to play with all this stuff. Hopefully he doesn't break anything. He rarely breaks things. That's why I let him play with this stuff because it's very rare that we've actually had broken issues. We've got some more of these. Just tons. Oh my gosh. Just tons and tons of content for this game. We got some more stuff over here. Let's go ahead and take this off here. Probably just going to put this box right back on. This is going to be a long enough unboxing as it is, so I'm focusing more on miniatures than anything else. Okay. This doesn't want to come off. There we go. Pleasant. That's going to go right back down. Okay. We got that up here. We got some more tiles. Some more of this. Some more cards. Just tons more content for the game. Cool. I'm a fan. I am a fan. Jeez, I don't need Black Rose Rebirth. None of us need Black Rose Rebirth. But some of us are still going to get Black Rose Rebirth. Okay. That's going to be this. So yeah, where were we? Mosaic. Mosaic is going to be another 5 out of 5 for me. It's just been a good month. Now, after this video, what I'm going to do, hopefully if I remember, I'm going to go through my actual reviews for the past, year, for 2021, and I'm going to see how many 5 out of 5s I have. Because I'm pretty sure, it's May right now, and I'm pretty sure I have 5 of them. I'm pretty sure I have 5 out of 5s, and I'm pretty sure as well, this is going to get taller and taller, this stack here. I'm pretty sure as well that 4 of those 5 out of 5s, well this part I know, 4 of them are going to be in May. Destinies, The Witcher, Mosaic, and Fall of the Mountain King. I'm not getting more casual with my 5 out of 5s. I just found the really good games in this month. I mean, what was it? We have Monster Hunter World, that was a 4. I don't remember. What else have I really been hyped about? It's hard to remember. V Commandos was a 4 as well. Excited about that one. That was a 4 though. And also that was a review of an older game. It's hard. An expansion is always a different story. Do I care that V Commandos Ghost came on Kickstarter now? Even if it was a 5, it's a 5 from when it came out, not from now. I'm going to go through it. I'll post a pinned comment, okay? So there'll be a pinned comment down below based on telling you how many 5 out of 5s I have for the year. And that's not going in the garbage yet. Probably will go in the garbage because I don't want to... I mean, this, by the way, I'm not thrilled about this. I'm going to be trying to get everything from here into at least these boxes. It's my new project. Because I like this game. I know I like this game. So I need to get them all compressed into the pretty boxes instead of this ugly box. It just means still got inserts. You can... I mean, Chronicles of Junagar, you saw my unboxing of Chronicles of Junagar. If you didn't, you can go watch it. But my Chronicles of Junagar unboxing, this is obscene, by the way, was... What was it? It was my Crocs Vinegar unboxing. I managed to get it down primarily into a core box and then a little bit of overflow into other boxes. Into other box, not other boxes. So, new and modified rules. This rule places 8, 9, 11 in the game setup. Okay. New magic schools and mechanics. Card terminacy, elementalism. Again, you see what I'm saying? The cards, as soon as they have new schools of magic, that great book is useless unless you get another one. So I kind of want another book to give me like a full picture school of magic. In Black Rose Rebirth, Ludus Magnus Studios, if you watch this video, I'll send you this video. If you watch this video, can you please put a, like, giant book of all the schools of magic into a single thing? Even if you make people pay for it. I'll pay for it. That book is useful, and you made it less useful by giving us all this other content. By the way, I've given Ludus Magnus Studios a hard time about... What are these boards? These boards look different. I've given them a hard time about the whole aspect of charging extra shipping for Black Rose Wars. I did, and I stand by it, by the way. I mean, I gave them a hard time. And you don't charge people extra after the fact. Just don't. But, have you seen the amount of boxes we have here and the size of this thing? I still stand by the fact that they should not do that, but I am more sympathetic about it, given what we're looking at. Just the sheer amount of content. These boards, I don't even know what these boards are, because they're slightly different than the regular board. You see how they have this thing here? That's slightly different than the regular board. Oh, interesting. That's smart. Why didn't the base game do that? So they basically, instead of having a board for every single hero, they have a board and you slot the card in of the character for the unique stats. That's much smarter than what the base game did, where every single hero requires their own giant hunk of cardboard. Cardboard is not cheap. Miniatures can be, like, this probably costs more than a miniature to make. Could have gotten 6 more miniatures, okay? We have Old Jukas. I assume this is from Nova Aetus, okay? Because I was like, this does not match the style of this game. What else do we have? We have this from Sin Tempora. I recognize that. I don't know what to do with these. I'm loath to throw them out. I don't want to throw them out, but like also I'm keeping the character. So does anyone even want these without the character? We have giant punch board full of more tokens. All fun stuff. Also, all going on the ground because I don't care enough about them. And this will go up here. And now we get to the fun part. Okay, front camera is going to be blocked in a second, but the top camera can get a look of this. This is what we have, okay? Let's go ahead and take all of that out, one at a time. Just gonna leave that giant thing over there. We'll save the piece de resistance for last. That's gonna be the dragon. We'll go through these trays over here. Jeez. Okay. It's just an insane amount of stuff here. Okay. I don't even want cheese. Okay, we'll grab it out. This whole plan of putting everything into a single box looking a whole lot harder now. So top camera for a second, you'll see. Okay. This is the amount of cards we have. That is insane. Genuinely insane. Do you see this? I don't even know what's going on here. Are they in different languages? Nope. 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 Unbelievable. Like, is this thing's not playtested? There's no way this is playtested. Schools of Magic, more cards, more cards, more cards. This is insanity. This is one of those games that people back it and then decide, you know what? I'm just gonna hard nope out of here. I'm good. I have other games that don't have this much stuff. And honestly, if I hadn't played the base game, I'd be far more intimidated. But I have played the base game, so I'm not nearly as intimidated. I don't remember what these small cards are for. Are they for like the, oh, we have quests and we have the various creatures and stuff. Probably other things too. I'm not overly going into it. Okay, let's go through some of the tokens and things. Unbelievable. Just sheer amounts of content. This is going to require like its own deck box something. So we got that guy over there. We have this guy over here. I'm just going to have a bunch of these come out. This guy's going to hopefully come out without breaking. They clip in a little too tightly. In fact, I vaguely recall, now that I think about it, way back in the day, before I had Black Rose Wars, I vaguely recall King of Average in his video about the game talking about how they clipped in too tightly and it was a problem for miniature painting. Now, I'm seeing that now, because these things do clip in very tightly. Okay. We got that guy in there. This guy, I'm still not sure if I pushed him in properly or not, but we're gonna, I'm tempted to leave it. No, I can't leave it. I can't leave it. It's not gonna leave this. Okay, like that, like that. Okay, that's in properly. And then we have, ooh, hey, look at that. We just played this game. So, this is the game we just played. Anyone recognize that? That was a different unboxing we just had this week. Ezio Auditore. Is that Ezio or is it Desmond? I can't tell. It looks like it might be Desmond. It also might be Ezio. Assassin's Creed, if you didn't get the reference. But basically, they have an Assassin's Creed crossover. I believe they did that in Nova Aedas Renaissance as well. Okay, that is this like gigantic, ridiculous box. Unbelievable. Okay. This is like a homework project. I'm telling you, the hobby of playing board games is not just about playing board games. It's about sleeving cards. It's about organizing boxes. It's about backing things on Kickstarter. There's a whole aspect to this hobby, and I love all parts of it. You have to, though. You have to love all parts of it if you're going to get these games. If you don't enjoy the process of, like, going through and unboxing a game and looking at the miniatures and then organizing the box and doing all of that, if you don't enjoy that, then this is not the right way to spend your time. Just get base games. Don't get this much content. I enjoy all this. I'm pulled in by it. It's just cool to me. Look at this. Look at this. This is a hero. Look at this gigantic hero. Don't know his deal, but he's gigantic. I like him. And we have this person over here. Oh, we have a bunch of cool heroes here. This hero is riding a beast. Okay. And again, Black Rose Wars. Oh, look at these little fox girls. Ooh, Kitsune. I love Kitsune. Kitsune are like these fox creatures with the foxtails situation. I think I first got introduced to Kitsune from Magic the Gathering. Look at this person riding a birdhouse. That's just weird. Yep. Okay. Cool. That's going to be that box. Then we have one more box to go before the dragon and before we call it a day. This has been a long video just because of the sheer amount of content there is. Here's more stuff. I'm not going to go through every single miniature here because I just can't. But I can show you. We got the little broom here. That's adorable. Okay, they like doing their little nods to various pop culture, which I appreciate. I like nods. We have this guy with an empty head. This guy's got an empty mask. Okay, look at it. Look at his skull. It's like a ghost character. I like it. Okay, we have, what else do we have? We have more fun, more fun, more fun. I just don't know anything in particular. I'm going to pretend that this guy is the guy singing, you know, toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh whoa. What else do we have? We have someone with a giant staff. We have some bunch of wizard characters. Just lots and lots of fun stuff over here. We have these various winged characters. Okay, these are going to be the various things you summon. And I think we're just going to go ahead and bring all this up because there's just so much content here. So, let's go through it. It's going to be all the stuff you have in this game in case you just want, you know, little looks of it. Cool. Way too much stuff. This stuff has to be bagged and put into box. We're going to bag all these things. All the heroes are going to be bagged. I just need to figure out how to organize it in the most efficient manner, and then we'll do so. But before we do, let's go ahead and look at this little box of stuff. First of all, we have this guy over here. Not as cool as some of the other things we've seen already. We've seen cooler. Okay. And then more importantly, this guy, and I actually showed this one in a different video a long time ago. Look at this guy. Look at this bone dragon. This is cool. I'm going to show the front camera as well. Front camera. Bone dragon coolness. I'm telling you, man. I like my miniatures. I like my miniatures. I like my games. This will not get bagged because there's no bag this will fit in. This is one of those things where, oh boy, this is gonna be base game box. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up with. This is all going on a table at some point. I don't know when. I don't have time right now. I have too many videos I need to get done. But this is all going on a table at some point in the somewhat near future, and then just being organized with whatever system I can, because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. And even so, I still have all these things I need to put away. There's just too much going on. These are probably going in the garbage. I just can't imagine what else I'm going to do with them. Again, I want the character, so I'm not giving those up. But past that, I don't know what to really do with them. Let's just try to store all these things in here. They look like they're mostly fit, for right now at least. Except for the miniatures. Those miniatures are not going to necessarily fit. Which is why I probably should take these out and just toss them into the dragon lair. So you see what we're going to do over here? We're going to grab this dragon lair. and they're going to be visited by a bunch of little pets in the dragon lair. You see, right now, there's always going to be people who just are so offended by that, but I can't. I have too many games. Any single game I have will get stored in the most efficient way I can as far as space. I prioritize space above all else, otherwise I could not have these big box Kickstarters the way I do. That's going to be this. Speaking of which, I just recently did a video of, which went up already, I can tell you that much, of 12 Kickstarter big box games that weren't for me. That was the video I did recently. And of course I forgot the rules. So it was basically covering the fact that there's a lot of games out there, and not all of them will be for me. I keep a lot, I get rid of a lot. I'm worried I'm keeping more than I'm getting rid of, which is a problem that I'll have to deal with at some point. But that is future Alex's problem. Today's Alex is pretty content with the collection of games, the fun experiences, big and small. I enjoy them all. I enjoy my plays of Zombicide, I enjoy my plays of Black Rose Wars, I enjoy my plays of Destinies, which is a big game in a small system. I enjoy Ecos, I enjoy Bullet, any number of different games I'm getting to the table. Canvas, big and small, I like a lot of these experiences. But yeah, I'll put in comments. I'm curious, my own ratio, I'm curious of games that I rate and how I rate them. Most games are going to be a 3. Most games are good. And it varies by person. Many of my 3s will be your 2s or 1s or your 4s or 5s. My scale, for the just frequent reminder, 1s are just bad games. I don't think I've ever rated a game a 1. I don't think I ever will. It's just a bad game. 2, and the question is why have a 1? To illustrate the concept that there's such a thing as a bad game. It's just, we're not playing them, fortunately. 2s are going to be games that aren't for me or have too many flaws in them. So I have played 2s. I would say more than half the 2s I've played, much more than that. I've rated like 2 or 3 things 2 for me in the channel, and I would say most of the things that are 2 don't get played. Unless I have a commitment to the publisher, I'm just not interested in playing it again, genuinely, because I'll reach out to a publisher and say, hey, did not like your game at all. I can, cover it, and I'll tell people I played it once, but my issue is I don't want to put out a video saying that I rate a game a 2 if I didn't play it more than once. I don't think that's fair. It might be true, by the way. And I'll cover this stuff in my games leaving the collection video. But in the core video of the video itself with the game, I think it's important to, if you're going to be negative about a game, ideally play it more than once. So the types of things that do get 2s on the channel are things like Pipeline, things like Cusco, games that they're not for me. But there was enough of a good game there that I was willing to play it more than once. It's still not for me. Still a game I don't want to play again, but in a game that I did play again because it was good enough, just not for me. 3s are going to be very common. 3s are going to be most games that are just good. Some of them I stay in my collection, some of them leave. I would say from the ones that stay, half of them will leave over the next 6 months. And some of them will stay for a long time. There are games. Seven Wonders, basically Seven Wonders is a 3. I keep it around for a reason. I have to look around my collection, but I'm sure I have a lot of 3s I can point to. And they're always the games that I debate whether I should or shouldn't keep, and there's usually a reason why it's there. 4s are the games where I start being excited about. Black Rose Wars, I'm excited about it. Not a 5. Too many complaints about the game system for it to be a 5. It's hard to get into, lots of content, needs better rules, lots of small issues around Black Rose Wars. Again, based on one play, I need to actually play it more. And then finally the 5s. The 5s are those games. Those are the games you live for. I mean, live for other things, not for games. But if you did live for games, the 5s are the games you live for. They're fun. They're amazing. When you think of them, when you play them, you're like, I should be playing this more. Why am I not playing this game more? They're the games that when I play them, I look at other games in my collection and I resent them being there because they're taking away time from my 5s. I still keep those other games because there's sometimes reasons why they're there, but they're the ones where you just really want to play those games. Either way, that's been a video. It's always one of those. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing of a game that didn't just arrive on people's doorsteps, but arrived on mine, and so I wanted to look at all the prettiness, because why not? Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and have a good one.